Hi, this is Toby from LITH-TECH Mobility. So in today's video, we're going to be demonstrating our whole range and each separate use case and which chair we would pick for that given use case. As you can see, by dealing with a specialist, you've got a whole range of chair options. We've got a load of add-ons, a load of modifications, so anyone that calls us means we can service. If you go to a local mobility shop, they're only ever going to have one or two chairs, meaning no matter if you are a larger individual, you're thinner, you've got a spinal injury or you've had a stroke, because they've only got two chairs, they've got no choice but to fit you in one of those two chairs, whether it's right for you or whether it's not. So this is our range. It goes from heavy duty all the way into our smart chair, into our lightweight chairs, and lastly we touch on the carbon fibre chairs. What we're going to do in this video is my colleague Paul, Paul's our sales manager here at LITH-TECH. He's going to ask me a load of questions, and these questions are all based on emails that we get through from our customers. They're all going to be mini scenarios, and you'll see very clearly that per question there's only ever going to be one, or per use case or scenario there's only ever going to be one or two chairs that actually fits that bill. So we'll start off with Paul asking me the questions, and then what we're going to do, we're going to have Ashley, and he's going to bring out the two chairs, and I'm going to explain the reason for those picks of the two chairs for that given scenario and use case. So let's give it a go.
Okay, so scenario one, we've got a 65-year-old woman, 5 foot 4 inches tall, 16 stone with spinal issues.
Okay.
Use case for the chair is to be used outdoors, around town, shopping centres, pubs, restaurants, dog walking paths and trips out with the grandkids. Husband is able-bodied, they drive a hatchback car, but the husband doesn't want to lift too much weight.
Okay, so the important things to take off this are spinal issues, that the fact that the husband doesn't want to lift a lot of weight. They're both the ages, so if she's 65-ish, so I'm guessing he's going to be 65, 70. Understandably, they want to not lift too much weight. So what we need though with a spinal injury is we need a stable chair. We also need something that's going to fit her height to weight profile. So what did you say she was? 16 stone? 5 foot 4 and 16 stone. So her height to weight profile basically puts her in what we call an XL chair or a larger individual. So ideally, what we're going to be going for is something like the Smart Chair 1XL. So if we put that chair just in the middle here, and then the other option we could then be going for is something like the Smart Chair Recliner. So because it's a reclining chair, it's great for someone with spinal issues. You can be more upright, you can be more reclined. It basically allows you to be whatever position you're most comfortable in. Because the husband doesn't want to lift too much, we would use a set of telescopic ramps. These type of chairs inherently weigh about 28 kg with batteries, and about 25 without, sorry. And on the Smart Chair 1XL, it's about 26.5, 27 with the batteries, and then we remove 3 kilos by removing the batteries. So it's a two-man lift. So two people in their 60s or even 70s would do a two-man lift these chairs standing on their head. So if they went out with friends and family, or a smaller car with friends and family and things like that, you wouldn't even get the ramps out, you'd just do a two-man lift. The advantage of using the ramps is obviously it's like that kind of whole thing is pushing a wheelbarrow up a ramp into a compost heap. It's no different from that. It's an absolute dodger when it takes all the lifting out. So yeah, so these chairs, they're very capable. So when you've got someone with spinal issues, you want to have good comfort, you want to have good quality tyres so it takes the absorption and bumps out of the road, and you want them to be comfortable and safe. So what you certainly wouldn't want is you wouldn't want to then put them in what's called a lightweight chair. Just because he says he doesn't want to lift, that doesn't mean you go put them in a lightweight chair, because a lightweight chair would be completely unsuitable for them. You always want to match the person to the chair, then work out how it's going to go in and out the car. What you don't want to do is match the person to what they think they want as the chair, and then work out and then worry too much about lifting, because it's not the husband or the partner with the disability, it's the user. So you've got to focus on the user and then work out how you're going to get the chair into the car, because matching the person to the chair is the important thing. So that's what we would use for someone in that type of scenario. Multi-terrain, comfortable, set of ramps, bosh. Okay, cool. So if we pop these two chairs back, we can have a look at next scenario. Okay, so what's our next scenario, Paul?
Scenario 2, we've got a 32-year-old man, 5 foot 10 inches tall and 14 stone, suffers from severe arthritis which is limiting his mobility. He works in London and needs a chair for his daily commute, so use of the train and travel across the city. At weekends he likes going for long woodland walks and regularly attends music festivals in the summer.
Okay, so given the chap's age, his height to weight profile and his use case, he wants to be something that's safe, stable, capable. Like that's his number one priorities. Did he talk about how if he had a car or anything like that?
No talking car. No.
Okay, so and he's London.
Yeah.
So let's say he doesn't even have a car. He's a commuter. He likes to go to Hyde Park, you know, party in the park or whatever. Use it for commuting. We're all about capabilities. We're about range. We're about manoeuvrability because you're in and out of people in London. The obvious choice to me would be Smart Chair X, something like that. Reason being, it's going to be capable, it's safe, it's got, and the Smart Chair X, if you didn't know, it's our flagship model. So it's got puncture-proof tyres, it's got two 10H batteries, so it's going to give you a range of up to 20 miles. Realistically, it's more like 15. Once you factor in speed, hills, user weight, things like that. It's got high torque brushless motors, so it's got the best motors on the market, bar none. And it's got up to 5 miles an hour, so it can be quite nippy as well. But this is going to give a customer safety, reassurance. It's going to give them everything they'd want in a city environment, but also in a rugged, multi-terrain, grassy environment like a festival or, you know, a park situation. And also, he was quite young, wasn't he?
32.
32. Great. 138. Paul's 37. If I was to be in a chair, disability dependent, I'd be going for the Smart Chair X because I know it's going to give me the fun, the freedom, and all the capabilities I need to keep up with my able-bodied mates that are all in our 30s. So that's what we'd go for in this scenario. Okay, next one.
Okay, next scenario, we've got a lady who's 5 foot 8 inches tall, 44 years old. She weighs 30 stone. She suffers from type 2 diabetes and lymphedema.
Okay.
Restricted to her home at the moment and wants to be able to get outdoors. Nothing too crazy, local trips into town,
Yeah.
shopping centres, etc.
Okay, so given her height to weight profile and the fact that she suffers from lymphedema, so lymphedema is swelling. Usually it's throughout the leg, especially lower leg and calf and ankles. That's where people get it the most. What she needs is a chair that's going to sit her up, stretch her out, and also a chair that's going to take the user weight. Was it 30? 30 stone. Okay, so up until recently, the chair that holds the most amount of weight, then also that's a blanket weight that doesn't fabricate their max user weight, like on eBay and things like that. There's a few that say they take up to 32 stone. I know the frames and they don't, they take 24 stone, so it's complete fabrication. But the Smart Chair 1 XL, up until the Titan came along, was the chair's frame that take the most amount of weight in the whole of the world. That takes 28 stone. The Titan takes up to 38 stone, or 40 stone in fact actually. It's like 250 kilos usable weight, 300 kilos maximum weight. So max weight is basically someone that wants to use it on a dead flat surface like a shopping centre, because you haven't got the bumps and things like that. So it's just a nice smooth ride. It doesn't put as much pressure on the chair. The only pressure it will be putting on is the user weight. So we'll hook the Titan out and I'll talk to you about why someone with lymphedema and of that profile would go for this. So it's got chunkier tyres first of all, front and back. I mean, you look at these bad boys, they're almost like little mini monster truck tyres. So 13.5 inches over your 12, but much wider profile. A wider profile tyre, it's a bit like when you've got a sports car or a 4x4. It's going to give you more grip, more traction, things like that by having a wider tyre. You've got chunky front wheels, so normally speaking your front wheels at maximum electric folding wheelchair are kind of 7 3/4. These are 8.5, 9. You've got a bit of inbuilt swan suspension, which is probably more for the chair really, because it's going to take a bit of a bashing than it is for the user. You've got 350 watt brushless motors, so heavier people are going to need more oomph, they're going to need more torque. They're also going to need a stronger motor because they're going to be putting the motor through much more, they're going to make the motors work harder, let's put it that way. And lastly, normally speaking, most of our chairs come with two 6H batteries other than the X, which is 210. This comes with two 15H batteries because someone at 30 stone is going to use about 3 or 4 times more battery than someone that's 10 stone, for example. So you want to have a battery with our larger output. If you see me sitting in here, you can see straight away that out of all the other chairs, it's a higher profile. That also means that my legs straight away are much more stretched out. So if someone's got lymphedema, it's going to take all of the pressure off the swelling of their knees, their ankles, their joints, and especially around your calves. So it means that they're not got calf pressure up against the batteries, they're not going to have any pressure sores, they're just going to be as comfortable as a folding wheelchair allows them. So that's why we'd go for the Titan with that particular use case, and that one's an absolute no-brainer. As soon as a user gets really past 26 stone, 26 to 36 stone, you're going to want to be in a Titan. Like, there are 2 chairs in the whole of the world that take folding chairs that take that. This is one of them, and by far it's the best option. So that's what we'd go for that.
Okay, next one, scenario 4. We've got a 14-year-old boy, 5 foot 2 inches tall. He weighs about 7.5 stone and suffers with MS. He wants a chair for day-to-day use around school and at home, and also crucially to be able to take abroad on family holidays.
Okay, so he's got a couple of options. What was his height?
5 foot 2.
5 foot 2. Okay, so we're looking at maybe something like the Compact Plus or the Smart Chair X, depending on like how capable he wants to go. So if we put out the Compact Plus, or maybe, how tall is he?
5'2".
And how heavy is he?
7.5 stone.
Okay, so he's ridiculously light. So we've got 3 chair choices here. So if you could grab the X out. Right. So I'll do it in order of capabilities and order of weight. So option number 1 is the compact. Reason why we'd go for the compact is because he weighs very little. A lightweight person in a lightweight chair is basically the same as a medium weight person in a medium weight chair. So you can get away with going lighter on the chair because there's less external force moving him around. So on things like camber, if you had a 15 stone person on a camber in this, it wouldn't hold, but a 7 stone person on a camber, because the weight of the user versus the weight of the chair ratio is much more evenly balanced, you would hold very, very well. This chair is also amazing inside. It's got a very, very small turning circle. It's very, very compact. It's also the smallest folding wheelchair in the whole world. So great for travel, great for going in tiny boots in cars if you rent a car. So it's great for the family, great in hotels. So the Compact Plus is your next option. Reason why we'd go for this one is if they wanted that little bit more. This is basically, given its name, Compact Plus. It's a more plus, gives you slightly more than the Compact. So it's going to give you more capabilities. It's going to give you slightly more range, but it still fits someone that's a smaller, younger profile. And we could do footplate modifications. We can do drop the pillow to make the user closer to the footplate. So there's lots we can do with this particular chair, and it's incredibly comfortable. But it's a great chair for travel because it's 20.5 kg without the batteries, but when the batteries are in, it's like 23.5. So you've got the stability of the heavier chair when you're in it, but then the beauty of when you remove the batteries, it's incredibly light, so it's great for travel. And then lastly, depending on where they like to go on holiday, you've got the X. So with the Smart Chair X, you've got 2 10X batteries. The beauty of this is someone that's as light as 7 stone, and also it's 45 centimeters between the armrests. So it's this one and the Compact, they're both 45. They're our narrowest chairs between the armrests. So if someone's got a lighter profile, smaller profile, that means that they're going to have, they're not going to feel like they're being overpowered by the size of the chair. It's going to be nice and tight on them still. The only thing that you'd bear in mind is when traveling, this chair comes with 2 10H batteries, although they say 6 actually, it's a bit of a bad thing there. Our old batteries, and if we might as well use them up considering we can't sell them anymore. But it comes with 2 10s, so it means longer haul flights will accept 2 10s, short haul flights will accept 1 10, Aer Lingus will accept no 10s, so just don't fly with Aer Lingus. They're not that great anyway, so you probably want to avoid them. But yeah, if someone wants more from their chair, like if their family like doing lots of outdoor excursions, they require being, let's say you want to go to Disney World maybe, you're going to be in your chair all day for countless hours. You want a chair that's going to make, your batteries are going to see you out throughout the whole day. That's when one would choose this. And also if their lifestyle back at home demands more from the chair, and they want a chair that can be used at home very easily, but they want a chair that can be used very effectively on holiday. Smart Chair X, any of our Smart Chair ranges you can have on any airline, and they're great for travel, but they're great for indoor and outdoor as well. So it's a very good all-rounder without having to have multiple chairs. So I think that pretty much covers it. Lovely. Right, moving on. Wasn't as smooth as put away there, but it's all good. So how we do it at LITH-TECH, all on the cuff, no edits.
Right, next scenario, we've got a 70-year-old man. He's
Yep.
5'6", weighs 70 kilograms. He's had a severe stroke which has limited the use of both his legs. His wife can't lift anything heavy, and this chair is to be primarily used indoors with the occasional sort of trip out. Nothing too rigorous, something like going out shopping centres or supermarkets.
Yeah.
No rough terrain.
Okay, so this is an easy one. So if anyone comes to us and says, my partner needs to do the lifting, it's got to be as light as possible, their focus is sheerly on weight. The only time where we would tell a customer, well, you don't need a lightweight chair, is if they say, I need to use it outdoors, which would be UK pavements, which are the most dangerous thing on an electric wheelchair, even more dangerous than the bumpy dog walking path. So they're saying, yeah, inside shopping centres, around Sainsbury's, you know, even flat surfaces, and weight is the consideration here. So you want something that's easy to fold, easy to reduce weight with a quick release battery, and light as possible. So the obvious choice on this particular one is the carbon fibre chair. They said they got no use to their legs, but I'm guessing they still have legs, they still have downforce on the foot plate. Not that it would matter so much because we'd be using it on flat surfaces. One thing you have to be very careful of, if you ever have an amputee or someone that doesn't have all of their legs, then what you're missing with that is the downforce on the foot plate. So what's important when the wheelchair is centre of gravity, it's even weight distribution, but having downforce on your foot plate is what keeps your front end stable without moving around too much. But as the guy just doesn't have use for his legs, but he has the weight there and it's on flat surfaces, the obvious choice is the compact. Quick and easy to fold. I can remove the batteries in seconds, and then I've got a chair, you know, that's ridiculously light, and that's my left hand. So that is going to be your easy option on that, and it's incredibly sturdy. You look at other people's carbon chairs, they're pretty much made of plastic. This is the most rigid, solid carbon chair, not in the UK, but in the world, and it's a good seller for us, and because of its good quality components, its silent brushless motors, its rigidity, but also its weight. It's light, but without being so lightweight, it's flimsy. Alright, next one.
Okay, we've got a 62-year-old man with a maximum budget of £2,000.
Yeah.
He really wants a reliable, good quality chair capable of getting him out and about. He's 5'6", 10.5 stone, and had a hip replacement.
Okay, sweet. So what we basically want to do here is budget's a focus. He wants a chair that's a good all-rounder. His height to weight profile basically means he can pretty much be in any chair. Well, you wouldn't want to put him in an XL because it would swamp him, but he's not limited to what he can use. And how tall is he?
5'6".
5'6". And what was the other use cases on it?
Just getting him out and about safely. Wants reliability, good quality.
Okay, so all of our chairs are good quality. That's why people come to us. You know, we use the best components in the game, the best parts, best batteries, etc. So all of the chairs are going to be reliable, but price focused, and he just wants a chair for pottering around. This is why we created the multi-chair. The multi-chair gives the user everything you want. It's reliable, it's capable, it's comfortable, it's great inside, it's great outside, it's great for travel. But also with a price tag of just £17.50, it is the most affordable quality chair in the UK market. Any chair that's under 1,500 quid is going to be absolute garbage. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. It's going to be a complete waste of money. We have literally made this my mission to create an affordable chair for the LITH-TECH range, but that is still going to give you all the same quality components ones are used to. Quick release 6AH batteries, plain safe on every single airline in the world. Brushless motors that have got good in freewheel mode, very easy to manoeuvre, so great for getting up and down car ramps to get it in and out of the car. Great for walking behind it, using it like a walker or a stroller. Great if you need someone to push you. Rubber wheels, Great cushioning front wheels, so it's great for getting up and down curbs. This chair has it all, but 1750. It's not also pushing the bank. In regards to what chairs actually cost, because as we know, quality mobility equipment isn't cheap. So 100% this is what that guy would go for, because it gives him everything he needs with staying within his budget. And he's also saving 250 quid as well in the process if his budget's £2,000. So if someone had called, just going to quickly finish off, and said they want all of that but they're a bit taller, all we would do in this situation is keep this exact setup, except for we'd add a telescopic foot plate which will then stretch their legs out, a higher cushion which would sit them up, and then because we've gone higher on the cushion, we'd do a wraparound backrest, and that means the whole of their back is then covered. And then you could still give someone a very price sensitive option, but they maintain all the quality of a wheelchair that you'd need. Right, messy buckle.
Okay. Next one, we've got a 60-year-old lady who loves cruising and holidays abroad.
Okay.
She's pretty small, 5'4", 10 stone, and suffers from muscular dystrophy.
Okay.
Her husband is able-bodied, so no issue with sort of lifting.
Okay, so you've got muscular dystrophy, loves cruising, loves holidaying, but the husband's able-bodied. This is an absolute no-brainer. So the lightest multi-terrain chair in the UK is the Smart Chair 1. Comes in at 26.5 kg with batteries and 23.5 kg without batteries. It's a combination of aerospace aluminium and titanium that gives it the perfect blend of strength but weight reduction. It folds up very, very small. Folds up very small. It's got great free running motors, so very easy to walk behind. Again, it's basically a slight upgrade of the chair that we just pulled out. It's got brushless motors, rubber wheels again, quick release 6Ah batteries again at the frame, meaning you can reduce weight very, very quickly from a folded or an unfolded position. In regards to folding, folds very, very small, but it's very, very manoeuvrable. So great for around cruising because it's also the narrowest multi-terrain chair in the whole of the UK market at 59 centimetres. Most wheelchairs, for example, are between 62 and 63 total width. So 59 means you can go through smaller cruise ship doors and cabin doors. It means your manoeuvrability and your turning circle is probably smaller because the overall length of the chair is a little bit smaller and more compact. However, when you go off the sea and off the ship onto the land, and you're doing your excursions, you've got the bigger wheels. That means you're going to be able to do different terrain types. So you've got the cobbled streets, you've got the higher curbs that you have when you're on holiday, you have the odd bit of grass. It's going to give you that safety, that reassurance, and also you've got a husband that can lift, and you've got people around you when you're on holiday that can help with lifts as well. So this is the no-brainer. It's this one as a first option and the Compact Plus as a second option. Where we would maybe choose the Compact Plus over the Smart Chair 1 is if a user says we're smaller in frame or lighter. So as we touched on earlier, lighter, smaller people can get away with lighter chairs and still use them in a more capable way. Right, incoming. Oh, kamikaze there. Okay, next one.
Next one, we've got a 45-year-old man, 5'9", 13 stone. He's got a wife, 3 kids and 2 dogs. Very active lifestyle, but wants to use the chair for getting out and about with the family.
Yeah.
His wife is able-bodied, but unable to lift too much weight. And also, their parking situation, they park on the road outside, parallel parking, so things like lifts might not be, ramps might not be an option.
Okay, so this is an easy one as well. So we've touched on the fact that they don't really either want to use lifts or ramps, or they don't have the space to be able to use lifts and ramps. So weight is a factor. If you go too lightweight, like a carbon chair in this instance, it's not going to do what they want because they've got kids, they've got dogs. They want to be taking their kids to the park. They want to be taking their dogs out for walks on bumpy terrain. They need a multi-terrain chair with stability, with weight behind it, but she needs to be able to get it in and out the car. So if we can hook out the Smart Chair Pro for us, that one there, third in silver, that one. This is exactly why this chair was created, and it's our latest chair. So what this gives you is it's 29 kg all in, which means you've got the heavy user weight you want for tackling multi-terrain situations. Because always what you want is you want to go as heavy as possible with the chair. People think you want to go as light as possible. You don't. You want to go as heavy as possible for the chair, because that's what gives you your stability, your capabilities, everything, your safety. But then you want to be able to have a light removable lifting weight. So on this chair, what we can do is we can remove the batteries, but also we've got this tab here which we can pull up and the motors slide off the chair. That means we can get this chair down to a liftable weight of 15 kg. 15 kg is what our lightest carbon fibre chair weighs without the battery. So the difference between that is, yeah, that's great for flat surfaces, it's quicker and it's more nimble to get it to that weight. But if you want to have a chair that's going to give you more capabilities, you've got the Pro. You've got a heavy chair for out and about, but a light lifting weight, so you've got the best of both worlds. But because they're a younger couple, it's a little bit more fiddly getting the motors and things off. So I'd say between getting the motors and batteries off, it's going to take you about a minute, and you need to be able to bend down. So in this use case, she's a younger person. This would work all the way up to if you're in your 60s, late 60s, maybe early 70s if you're a fit person. What you don't really want to be pitching this chair to is if you're in your 90s, things like that, because you'll probably, even if you think you're there mentally, bending and stuff is going to be more of an issue. So this would be the perfect chair for that use case. Literally ideal, couldn't be more spot on. How many have we got left?
2 more.
Okay, good. Getting tired now.
Right. 85-year-old man, he's 6'2", 12 stone, suffers from Parkinson's disease. Lives in a care home, but wants a chair for day trips out to sort of garden centres, parks, also hospital visits, as well as everyday use around the care home and the grounds.
Okay. Say that all again, so I can try and take that one in again.
Okay, so he's 85,
Yeah.
6'2", 12 stone, suffers from Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Lives in the care home, so the chair's for daily use around
Yeah.
the care home and grounds,
Yeah.
but also for the odd day trip out, nothing too extravagant.
Okay. Alright, so on something like this, we'd probably use something like a smart chair. Reason being, when you've got someone that's older and they don't always have to rely on getting it in and out of a car, but they've got, when they go out for day trips, they can have their kids or people around them to lift it in and out of the car, so weight isn't necessarily an issue. You want to put someone in a heavier chair. Your other option is if they were doing sort of day trips and it wasn't too taxing, the carbon multi-terrain chair, the MT, would work well as well. But the reason why this would be the first option is when someone's got Parkinson's, they might well have tremors. Do you say Parkinson's straight? Parkinson's, they might well have a tremor, they might have a wandering leg. You want to have something that's much more planted, because a planted chair is much easier to control. The lighter you go on a chair, the harder it is to control with the joystick. So you want something that's got a nice firm kind of plantedness. It's not too skittish on the joystick. It's very stable and easy to use. So something like this, where it's got a bit more weight behind it, it's going to be very sure to use. It's easy to keep in a straight line. Still got an amazing turning circle. So using it around the care home and things like that is an absolute doddle. Going through care home doors, it's a 62.5 centimetres total width, so it's stable for outdoor use, which is what you want if you've got Parkinson's and you're older, but it's very manoeuvrable for indoor use. But also it's incredibly comfortable. This chair comes with the upgraded cushion as standard, the upgraded wheels are standard. You can whack on a telescopic footplate, you can whack on a wraparound backrest. Very, very easy to modify. If someone injures their leg, you can whack in leg extensions very, very easily for stretching out your legs. This chair, along with the Smart Chair 1, is probably the best chair for overall modifications. Also works incredibly well with care assist controls, operating from behind, because where it's a much more solid, planted, safe chair, it's much easier to control the chair from behind. The hardest combination is a lightweight carbon fibre chair with care controls, because where it's so light, it makes it more skittish, which makes it harder to use from behind. So yeah, something like this, but if weight was more of a contributing issue for the people that took him out, that's around him, his support network, we would look at something like the Carbon MT as a backup.
Last one. You
done
mentioned
well.
the Carbon MT. This is probably where it's going to come into play. So we've
Okay.
got a couple in their 50s. They like to travel domestically in their camper van. They need something light and compact. Husband's 5'8" tall, 12 stone, He's had a stroke affecting one side, so got use of just one arm. They need something that the wife can either lift on her own or a two-person lift together.
Okay, right. So, like you touched on, we would choose the carbon empty in this type of snow. Reason being, it's lightweight. It's very narrow folding, which means if you're in a camper van, things like that, it fits into quite small areas for kind of being stored away. It's got your big wheels front and back, which means it can be used in any type of environment, on a campsite, wherever you go to different places around the town. It's very lightweight, it's very, very portable. Portability and weight are the key, because she needs to be able to lift it. Her husband's had a stroke, so he can still operate it on his good arm. Also, if it's a stroke that he's had and it's his faces right hand side the bottom, let's say left hand side of the body, and he controls it, it's right, he can still sit on the edge of a car if needs be, and help his wife with a two-man lift. So he would lift with one arm and she could lift the other side, because this chair is only 20 kg, so she should be able to lift it by herself without the battery. And if not, and she did like a 75% lift and he did 25 with just one arm, that little bit of extra help, you have no idea how much difference that makes. Even when we're selling people smart chair ones and multi-train aluminium chairs, people are always so surprised. I said, I bet you can do a two-man lift, and they're like, no, we can't. It can't possibly. He's had a stroke. I'm like, trust me. You get them to prop up against the side of the car, so all their weight is taken, and just that 15-20% lift means they can get a chair between us. And they're couples in their 70s, and she's doing the majority of the lifting. He's just aiding. So you'd be surprised at what can be done if you do things the right way. But if weight is obviously the key thing here. So the carbon fibre chair, it's light, it's sturdy, it's strong, it's incredibly portable, and it can be used in absolutely any situation. So that would be undoubtedly choice number one that we went for. Great chair for travel. Quality components, quiet components, very reliable components, and that's exactly what you want if you're on the move a lot. So put this chair back. But I just want to reiterate, the whole point of videos like these is we're the most educational YouTube electric folding wheelchair company, not just in the UK, but in the whole world. So we put out the most amount of content which actually helps you with electric folding wheelchairs from any country. As you can see, we've got you can hear Rosie the office dog in the background. We're all getting involved today. But as you can see, we've got 14 different models. Please call us, ask us for our help. Don't try and work it out by yourself, because, and this is not being rude, 8 out of 10 orders we get are wrong, and we have to change them to make it right, or we have to do add-ons so it's right for your disability. What you're much better off doing, use our knowledge, use our expertise, call us up. Even if you decide not to buy from us, we can tell you what you need to buy if you're budget conscious and you can't afford to buy a LITH-TECH chair. We will save you money, we'll save you time, we'll save you effort. So use an expert, and we want to help. We are here to help, and we will not only put you in the right chair, we will put you the right accessories to make that chair more suitable for you and your disability. In the end of the day, we're going to make your life easier, we're going to give you freedom, because that's what it's all about in the end of the day. So yeah, please call us and use us, because we want to help. Anyway, I hope that was educational. It was a bit of a different one. We got the whole team involved, but this just shows you who has that in the UK. No one. Use it, use us. We're here to help, and we can help you, and we will help you. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.